Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a kind of review sort of video of this book by Charlie McDonnell. It's called Fun Science. For those of you who haven't heard me talk about this already, Charlie McDonnell is a YouTuber. He's been around for a very long time. I think he was the first person whose videos I ever saw, and he published this book, I think it was at the end of last year, and it's one that I was really looking forward to reading. I'm always up for a bit of non-fiction, and obviously this is a non-fiction book that's kind of aimed at young adults, and it is essentially like a YouTuber book because he is a YouTuber first and foremost. But I think this is different to other YouTuber books, firstly because he actually wrote it himself, and secondly because it is non-fiction and it's not about him, it's about the world and science. So I thought that was really cool, and I'm always interested in random non-fiction books that are about stuff that I know nothing about, and science is one of those topics that I'm very unfamiliar with. And this book, if you just want a quick flip sort of through, it's very fun, as the title might suggest. I really liked how this was written. His voice really comes through, and his sense of humor and everything, so I really liked that about this book. The pacing was really good as well because he starts off his idea was starting off with the big things and working his way down to the small things. So the first sort of topic that's covered is the universe, I believe, and then it goes right down to cells and atoms and things like that. So each chapter as it goes along also gets shorter and shorter, which is really cool. And at first I felt like it was going quite slow, but obviously because the chapters got shorter and shorter as it went on, it did start to pick up, and I felt like I was getting through it really quickly. So I really liked the effect that the chapters getting shorter had on the pacing. I thought that was really cool and a really good idea. Also just the fact that it really lives up to the title. It is all scientific and all a lot of fun and just really cool facts and stuff like that. So if you like books with cool facts and stuff that you can learn, I think you'd really enjoy this one. There were a couple things that I didn't like, and it was mostly just to do with some added humor stuff that I just thought weren't really that funny. They were kind of lame. One of them was editor's notes. So little editor's notes like this, as if an editor's going through and writing notes on it to Charlie, being do you really think you should keep this in or whatever, and I just thought it wasn't really that funny. And then the other stuff I didn't like was just throughout the book there is a little sprinkling of references to things like being basic and taking selfies and Netflix, and there's a Kim Kardashian reference that I really hated. Just really awkward and out of place and unnecessary, and trying to be funny but not really hitting the right note. And I think they only put those references to those things in to make it more of a YouTuber kind of book and to try and relate it to today's youth and whatever, and I think all that's going to do is date this book really fast. So I didn't really like that about it, but aside from that it was really cool. And yeah, I just thought I would tell you guys 5 favorite things that I learnt while reading this book. I was writing heaps of notes reading this book because there just kept being things that I never knew before, and some of them were misconceptions that I've had about different things, which I thought was really interesting because it's stuff that I had no idea. So the first one was kind of a general comment that Charlie makes about how scientists, the nature of their work is to seek out truth, and when they're proven wrong they actually kind of like it because it means that they're getting closer to the truth. And that's what research is all about, and different studies and experiments and that kind of thing. One person will come up with a concept and then all the other scientists around the world work on the same idea and try and find any flaws in it and try and make it more accurate and all that kind of thing, and that's what they do, and they all enjoy that because it brings them closer to the truth. And that really reminded me of Socrates, who was a philosopher, and it's the same kind of outlook he had, and he was always trying to challenge people and question them and get them to reconsider how they think about things and that kind of thing. I don't know, he got a lot of crap. He actually, I think, got executed in the end for basically stirring up trouble and making people feel bad because he would try and prove them wrong all the time. But his attitude right until his last breath was that he was trying to do people a favor, and he just wanted people to try and seek truth, and truth is the most honorable thing you can seek to find in your life. And yeah, it just reminded me of that, so I thought that was really cool and a cool way of looking at science. The second interesting thing that I learned is that out of all the planets in our solar system, aside from Earth obviously, Mars would be the most habitable. So the one that if there was any planet we could live on, maybe Mars would be the one. It is the best possible option that we have. The biggest difference between Mars and the other planets was the temperature. The average temperature on Mars is negative 63 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit, sorry, but negative 63 Celsius is like very cold. Like I don't think it gets that cold on Earth. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I doubt it. Very, very cold, but not like insanely cold, whereas the other planets were like 623 degrees Celsius or like negative 1000 or, you know, stuff like that, like really, really extreme. Obviously negative 63 is extreme, but it's like closer to our Earth levels, so I thought that was really interesting compared to the other planets at least. The third fact that I will share with you is that the deepest hole that's ever been dug in the Earth was 12 kilometers deep. That was really interesting to me because of like how thick the diameter of the Earth is. 12 kilometers sounds really shallow. Like, can we really not dig a deeper hole than 12 kilometers? But yeah, so they got 12 kilometers deep in the Earth, and that's the point where it's too hot to dig any further because obviously the center of the Earth is really, really hot. If you were to dig right to the core, so from where I'm sitting now, if I dug a really giant hole to reach the middle of the Earth, the center where the core is, it would be 3,000 kilometers. So 12 kilometers is nothing. So if they got 12 kilometers deep and found it too hot to dig any further, can you imagine how hot the actual center of the Earth is? Like another 2,900 kilometers away from that. Like, crazy. The fourth fact that I will share with you is kind of probably the one that blew my mind the most, to be honest, just because this one was a massive misconception that I had about the world, and I guess popular culture and like kids movies and that kind of thing has wrecked me on this. It's the fact that dinosaurs and humans never actually inhabited the Earth at the same time. I totally thought that dinosaurs and like cavemen were supposed to have lived on Earth at the same time, because I feel like there's a lot of movies where, I don't know, like the Flintstones even, like they have pet dinosaurs and stuff, and I'm sure there are countless other movies where you've got dinosaurs and people kind of living together and the people are trying to not get eaten by dinosaurs, and you know, it's normal, right? But yeah, they never existed at the same time, and not even close to being around at the same time. Earth is like 4.5 billion years old, so it's really, really old. Humanity's only 200,000 years old, so we haven't been around for very long at all in terms of the Earth's lifetime. And yeah, dinosaurs died out 65 million years ago. They were around for like 160 million years before that, so they were around for like a very, very long time. But they died out 65 million years ago, and we've only been around for 200,000. There's about 64.5 million years between dinosaurs and us, which blows my mind completely because I really thought it was shorter than that. I thought our time overlapped, but apparently not. So that's really, really interesting to me. And then the final fact, it's not really fact, but just a really nice use of imagery that I thought was really cool. Charlie explains how the human skeleton, or any skeleton I guess for that matter, is essentially, you can think about it like a coat hanger for your organs. So that's a creepy fact that I'll leave you with. I just thought that imagery was really fantastic. But yeah, so that's some stuff that I learnt from this book. I'm really glad that I read it, and I totally recommend it if you think it's something that you might be interested in. So if any of these facts blew your mind, there's many more in this book, so definitely I would recommend picking it up. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you want to follow me on Goodreads, it's always linked down below, as well as my Instagram and Twitter. And I will see you guys with another video in a couple days. Bye.